Rare quotes. The danger of civilization, of course, is that you will piss away your life on nonsense. Jim Harrison. Indeed, freedom and the capacity for disobedience are inseparable, hence any social, political, and religious system which proclaims freedom, yet stamps out disobedience, cannot speak the truth. Erich Fromm. Freeing yourself was one thing, claiming ownership of that freed self was another. Toni Morrison. If people can be educated to see the lowly side of their own natures, it may be hoped that they will also learn to understand and to love their fellow men better. A little less hypocrisy and a little more tolerance towards oneself can only have good results and respect for our neighbor, for we are all too prone to transfer to our fellows the injustice and violence we inflict upon our own natures. Carl Jung. Consciousness is an end in itself. We torture ourselves getting somewhere, and when we get there it is nowhere, for there is nowhere to get to. D.H. Lawrence. Beyond a given point man is not helped by more knowing, but only by living and doing in a partly self-forgetful way. As Buddha put it, we must plunge into experience and then reflect on the meaning of it. All reflection and no plunging drives us mad, all plunging and no reflection, and we are brutes. Ernest Becker. Don't tell them too much about your soul. They're waiting for just that. Jack Kerouac. For a long time I had to fight against a feeling of aversion for my country. Now I am beginning to accustom myself to all the horrors that make up the human condition. Fortunately, there is one salvation: morality, the world of the arts, poetry and human relations. There, nobody bothers me, policeman or town councillor. I am alone. Outside the wind howls, outside all is mud and cold. I am here, I play Beethoven and shed tears of tenderness, or I read the Iliad, or I create my own men and women and live with them, covering sheets of paper. Leo Tolstoy. There was nowhere to go, but everywhere, so just keep on rolling under the stars. Jack Kerouac. Who is the happier man, he who has braved the storm of life and lived, or he who has stayed securely on shore and merely existed? Hunter S. Thompson. You don't know what love is, until you've learned the meaning of the blues, until you've loved a love you've had to lose. Tilda Chet Baker. Forget your personal tragedy. We are all bitched from the start, and you especially have to be hurt like hell before you can write seriously. But when you get the damned hurt, use it, don't cheat with it. Ernest Hemingway. The misery and greatness of this world, it offers no truths, but only objects for love. Absurdity is king, but love saves us from it. Albert Camus. The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. Tilda Fyodor Dostoevsky. Every miserable fool who has nothing at all of which he can be proud, adopts as a last resource pride in the nation to which he belongs. He is ready and happy to defend all its faults and follies tooth and nail, thus reimbursing himself for his own inferiority. Arthur Schopenhauer. The individual has always had to struggle from being overwhelmed by the tribe. To be your own man is hard business. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Tilda Rudyard Kipling. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be. Kurt Vonnegut. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own souls. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Carl Jung. By replacing fear of the unknown with curiosity, we open ourselves up to an infinite stream of possibility. We can let fear rule our lives, or we can become childlike with curiosity, pushing our boundaries, leaping out of our comfort zones, and accepting what life puts before us. Alan Watts. I know always that I am an outsider, a stranger in this century and among those who are still men. H.P. Lovecraft. If a man isn't willing to take some risk for his opinions, either his opinions are no good or he's no good. Ezra Pound. I want to taste in glory in each day, and never be afraid to experience pain, and never shut myself up in a numb core of non-feeling, or stop questioning and criticizing life and take the easy way out. To learn and think, to think and live, to live and learn, this always, with new insight, new understanding, and new love. Sylvia Plath. I will always be on the side of those who have nothing and who are not even allowed to enjoy the nothing they have in peace. Federico Garcia Lorca. And if there is eternity, I'd love you there. Again. Bob Dylan. Thank you for watching.